Good afternoon, YouTube. Joel here from the CryptoByte team, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about some controversial information from Coinmarketcap. And I've got a tweet here and some articles about it, but Tidy G says the real question is why Coinmarketcap is listing all these fake exchanges. And so we're pretty much going to be talking about how Coinmarketcap is listing fake exchanges, and the reason why this is such an issue is because these fake exchanges that nobody uses are faking 99% of the volumes that represent a major part of a cryptocurrency's volume. And remember when they were selling ads to BitConnect too? Boycott CoinMarketCap. So TidyG doesn't really like CoinMarketCap, obviously because of selling ads of BitConnect, but also because they're using 99% of their volumes that represent, that help represent cryptocurrency volumes. So when you think about it, CoinMarketCap is a website that is a business. It acts as a service to help you get money. So they they might often give into the money and sell out. So again, with the ads, BitConnect ads were probably pretty good. It was good money, obviously, I'm sure. So they took it. It's not like CoinMarketCap knew that was a scam. If they did, then well, that's not too good. But there was a good chance that CoinMarketCap was offered not only fiat cash, but also potentially BitConnect, the cryptocurrency of BitConnect as well. So for those ads, and anyway, so that's just that issue. But CoinMarketCap is listing fake exchanges which kind of fakes volumes for cryptocurrencies, and we'll see some examples actually right now. So let's go check it out. So let's look at Ethereum and Litecoin. Those are two pretty popular coins, all in the top 10. And if we look at the markets, we can kind of see. Okay, so OKX, and OKX is talked about on here, and I think so is Huobi. But OKX is one of the prime examples. The volumes are around the 200 million mark, and it pretty much helps make up a large volume for the Ethereum trades. But of course, OKX actually is not a very popular website. So if you look at it, it says it handles around, wow, quite a lot of USD. But when you look at it, it's pretty much just pretty bare actually, and it doesn't look like a real exchange. Like compared to Binance and some other exchanges, OKX looks completely garbage. So it's not too good. And it says it handles that much in USD. That's quite insane. I'm not too sure if that's a 1 billion, 1.5 billion. It's crazy. And Litecoin, wow, so it's dropped under 200. That's not too good. OKX again, and so it's almost handling the 1.4 million or 100 million, 140 million. It's crazy. And this website is actual garbage. So it most likely isn't a solid trading platform, but yeah, so we've got CZ here, who is the CEO of Binance, and we've got a tweet that says, good in-depth analysis, which he's linking this article here, which we'll read in just a moment. But he says, discussed with Sylvian back in October, we like liquidity, but we don't like flash liquidity, which are used by many HFT market makers. Binance believes in having these restrictions help the larger number of retail traders. So Binance basically just doesn't like the fact that there's fake exchanges which help create markets where trades happen and stuff like that. So I think this fake information makes people want to trade cryptocurrencies, which in itself kind of makes a market. So I'm sure that's what he's referring to. But looking at this article here, which is linked by the Binance of CZ, also I actually just have some information for you guys about potential scams. So with Twitter, if you scroll down, you look at CZ in his tweet, and then we've got some replies here. So this looks like his account as well, but it's actually not. It says 3 tweets, 1 following, 0 followers, and obviously this isn't the same account as this one up here. And he's basically saying, but you can always increase your volume with more Ethereum. We're simply giving away 3,000 Ethereum. Send, a special amount to here, and you get 1 to 100 Ethereum back. This is just a prime example of a potential scam, and he's obviously paid a lot of other accounts to comment that the scam works, but it doesn't actually. This is a fake, and nothing comes free. So you have to be very careful. Anyway, so let's go to the article. I just thought it was important information for you guys to know. But chasing fake volume, a crypto plague. In this piece, I'll expose why I believe more than 3 billion of all crypto assets volume to be fabricated, and how OKX, the #1 exchange rated by volume, is the main offender with up to 93% of its volume actually being non-existent. And I'll endeavor to prove it by analyzing publicly available data. So we're going to get all the good information in this article. But again, OKX might be, in my opinion so far, before we dwell too deep into this article, is that OKX might be a legit exchange. It's just paid itself to be #1 through CoinMarketCap, and CoinMarketCap's just using the information they're receiving. But no matter how questionable it is, I guess they've put it up anyway. But they must be getting paid pretty well. and so OKX is getting free marketing by being the number one in those kind of terms. So maybe they are buying their position. But anyway, let's go read the article. When I set out to data mine for this piece, I had no idea what I'd end up talking about fake volume. Oh, so he didn't actually, when he found the information, he wasn't actually expecting to talk about fake volume. He just kind of connected some dots. So I initially meant to gather data about crypto assets liquidity that could be a complement to value. I thought it would prove an interesting indicator when assessing the value of an asset. And he's done all sorts of good stuff. And then when it comes down to it, OKX is a ghost town. So a bit of wash trading and artificial volume inflation is to be expected in a thoroughly unregulated market. What I did not expect was the magnitude of the fraud. And so there isn't very much regulations, and it's pretty hard to regulate, especially crypto markets that don't really exist tangibly. And we're kind of seeing here the volume compared to OKX, Kraken, Bitfinex, and GDAX. And OKX is in red, and you can kind of see that it's like very high compared to all the other cryptocurrency trading companies of Kraken, Bitfinex, and GDAX. OKX is way higher, and Kraken is a proven and not proven. It's a useful and pretty popular exchange. Same with GDAX and Bitfinex, but they're all under OKX. And I actually haven't heard of much people using OKX as well. So this article most likely is correct, and it's just talking about how this graph in front of us is the four major exchanges is Kraken, Bitfinex, and GDAX, but OKX is there as well. And he's just kind of talking about how it's most likely fake because its data is just so crazy compared to the other popular exchanges. And he's going through, he's talking about it, slips and dips, but it is just quite normal. So how bad is this? And as obvious as it is, most of OKX's volume is doctored. How do we go about estimating whether it's 90%, 95%, or 99% fake? And I propose the following method. So he's actually not too sure. He's just got some solid information, and it does make sense, but let's look at the reasons how we could figure out. Gather a list of trustworthy exchanges that all behave consistently on that regard. Perform a regression on their combined data sets so as to be able to predict a trading pair volume from all observed slippage. Compare OKX claims volume numbers versus the estimated volume numbers as predicted by our model. To that effect, I used the data from the following exchanges, all the popular exchanges again: Bitfinex, Polynex, Bitstamp, Gemini, Kraken. Okay, not all of the popular ones, but quite popular. Given the volatility of the data set at lower volumes, I also decided to change the metric I used. Instead of a 50k market sell, I simulated a 20k one. And here's the data from the trusted exchange look like, this time showing the volume as a slippage. We can kind of see everything dip. And that's super volatile. And as you can see, when plugging in the legible OKX data on place, something is definitely not quite okay, yeah, so without OKX data, it kind of just looks quite just a stable dip, although it is extremely volatile. When you put OKX's data in, everything kind of just goes all over the place, and it doesn't fit. And so out of the 28 pairs selected on the currencies with volumes over 100k, only 11 have a slippage under 0.7, and we've got all the charts out here. And so long story short, he's compared all of these exchanges in the graph with and without OKX, and he's just kind of come to the conclusion that the data with OKX shows some pretty crazy irregularities with the data. So going back to TidyG, he wants to boycott MarketCap, and again, Coinmarketcap's a website, but it is a service and a business, and so it is kind of just up to you guys to hate on the business as a company, because it does provide a service that we access. And you could say they are selling out, and they technically are, because OKX most likely does pay them in terms of their marketing in a way. But I'm sure it's not as bad as BitConnect, because it's not really a scam. It's just throwing up some like real invalid data, which is bad because the cryptocurrency market would need some regulation. So if CoinMarketCap is a big issue, there are other coin market kind of indicators and market watches that you can look at. And yeah, but that's all I've got for this video today. Tell me what you guys think about this controversial topic in the comments below, and if you like the video, hit that like button, and that's all. So cheers.